no updates on that.
With Aaron, what did the test results show in terms of that high ankle sprain, and how long will he be out?
Really, we're taking it a week at a time right now, Jordan. It was a high ankle sprain, nothing that's going to require surgery or anything like that, but he will be out this week.
What does that, it's other than, his holdout, when he ended his holdout and when you held him out in terms of resting those guys, I think at the end of the 2017 season, you have not coached a game with him not in the lineup. What's that going to be like?
Significant. He, so much of it is built around him. He's truly one of one. And so you don't replace anybody like him. Guys will be asked to step up, have confidence in those guys. But I think Aaron's resume speaks for itself, the way that he works, the way that he brings others with him. And so it's a huge loss for us.
Has Matthew advanced in any step in the concussion protocol, and is he, in that regard, is he being tested frequently?
Yeah, he's going through those necessary steps. I would say this, there hasn't been any setbacks. And so that's a good positive thing, and I'll have updates as the week progresses.
Sean, at this point, is it just a neck injury, not a concussion for Matthew?
Well, he's still going through the protocol. So like I said, he wasn't diagnosed with it, but we put him in the protocol as a result of leaving the New Orleans game. Still working through those types of things. The neck is something that we're continuing to monitor, like Jordan asked last week as well.
Sean McVay being designated for return, what is his status looking like?
There's a possibility that he'll be ready to go, Stu. We'll see once we get out there for walkthrough and for practice. I know he's chomping at the bit. He's excited, and so I'll have a better feel once we get through today. But that is good to be able to get him out there and see how he does. Yeah, so we got both those guys available, so that'll be a good thing for us, Greg, and we'll see how John and Bryce both do throughout the week.
You've spoken a lot about Bobby Wagner and his leadership in general terms. Wondering if you could share a detail or two about how adaptable he's been, not just coming into this new system and learning it so quickly and captaining it, but also right now when this is something he probably wasn't expecting.
Sure. I think the consistency is the most impressive thing about him, Jordan. He's a pro in every sense of the word. This has certainly not been ideal or anything that I think he would anticipate. I don't want to speak for him, but what I've seen is a guy that is so steady, so consistent in his approach, great focus and concentration in whatever it is that we're doing, whether that be meetings, walkthroughs, practice. His ability to bring others with them or with him is really impressive. And like I've kind of said when you guys have asked about him, I think you really, especially in spite of all the different things that we're going through, makes me respect him that much more because of the steadiness, because of the consistency, and can't say enough good things about Bobby Wagner.
Have you learned from him this year?
Yeah, I think so. I think just watching how committed he is to a process, to a standard of a consistent approach, regardless of the circumstances. We always talk about the difference between a thermostat and a thermometer, and he truly is a thermostat where he doesn't let the external circumstances dictate going low or high. He's always ramping things up, and that's as big a compliment as I can give anybody, especially just given the perspective that this year has given me and I think a lot of people in our building.
John, how drastic has your day-to-day changed in terms of game planning with all the injuries and then, kind of seeing which quarterback you're going to run with throughout the week? How does that change your process?
It's been significant. I think really just the way that you move throughout the course of the week and on a day-to-day basis, whether it be the amount of things going on with the roster, knowing that, hey, with all those moving parts, it is important to try to be, more present and around, just the team in general and be able to kind of do some different things. And so it's drastically changed, but still coaching is coaching. And it's a great opportunity for a lot of guys that maybe didn't anticipate or expect to get chances to play in real live game action. And for that, we're going to pour everything that we can into those guys and try to help them play as well as they possibly can.
As far as your reps, how much do you expect the increase to show up in the game?
As far as what
The reps that you guys have.
you talking about? Yeah, the continuity. Are you talking about? Yeah, I think anytime that you're able to get guys playing together, Claudia, that's always something where you want to be able to say, all right, let's use that continuity, let's build on it week to week. And That's been something that's been a little bit more challenging for us, just based on the nature of guys' availability. But that's where you want to pour everything into practice. This late in the year, you're going to really try to, we're taking a little bit different approach where you're getting more practice opportunities, where in a lot of instances in prior years, you would maybe take more of a walkthrough approach. So it's really important to be able to try to create and simulate as many game-like situations and settings as possible for the amount of guys that are playing for the first time or getting familiar with some of the things that we're asking of them for the first times.
Couple more guys.
With two part, if you don't mind. With Matthew not practicing today, I mean, it is likely you would not play him.
I think that's safe to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then with Bobby's temperament, as you mentioned, this guy is going to be playing against the team he played for 10 years. I'm sure he'll handle it, but do you as a coach, I don't know, talk to him at all about that?
I think that here's what I would say. The consistency is the thing that's so impressive, about Bobby. To say that I think he could be better equipped to answer that. No different than when Matthew played against Detroit last year. There's a lot of things that these guys, that Bobby has done where he's one of the all-time greats for the Seahawks. I know he's loved and revered in that building. I know the amount of respect that he has just from my dialogue with people, in some of those roles that are in positions to really, give you some honest and open feedback. And I think he'd probably be better equipped to answer that. But he's going to approach it like a pro, and, it certainly is going to be, an important game for our team.
Sean, what did you see from Michael Hoyt on Sunday?
I thought, just the effort, the relentlessness, the ability to be able to quickly take things from the practice setting, from the meeting room, and then be able to translate it. I don't think anybody expected him or anticipated him to play as many snaps as he did, but I was really pleased with him. I thought he and Leonard both played, excellent with a lot of energy on both of our edges, and looking for him to be able to build on that performance. I think it's a credit to Thad doing a good job getting him up to speed in a quick amount of time.
That effort specifically, it seemed to show up when you guys were defending the run as well. And is that something, that energy, even despite the circumstances of the season, snap in and snap out, even in non-rush situations, is that something you're looking for from some of those young guys?
I think it's huge. I think it says a lot about the character of those guys, Jordan. I was so impressed with, like I had mentioned to you guys, the red area stops that we had toward the latter part of the game, and just the consistent, relentless pursuit and approach that they had to making them snap it one more time. And that has been a consistent theme for Michael Hoyt since he's gotten here with the way that he practices. We try to talk about, the practice, performance, and preparation equaling game reality, and that was on display for Hoyt the other day.
Sean, I'm just curious if you've had to change, if any, your overall approach with everything that's gone on injury-wise, kind of taking your foot off the throttle a little bit, because that's not really what you're used to doing.
Yeah, I think, kind of like what I was answering earlier, you do take a different approach, because I think, especially in my role, it's whatever's needed. And that's where you got great coaches to be able to lean on and kind of just say, okay, with the amount of different things that you're navigating and working through, it is important to have some agility and some adaptability in relation to just my weekly rhythm. And so for a lot of different reasons, the answer is yes. I don't know if I'd call it taking your foot off the throttle as much as just adjusting and being in some different spots where maybe you didn't spend your time in the previous 5 years. And so, these are things that, like anything else, you try to learn from, you try to be able to grow from it. There's a lot of different things that you're kind of writing down and making note of, so that once the season does end up finishing up, you're able to go back, not forget some of the different things that you want to try to avoid in the future with the things that you can control. And then when the things that you can't control do come up, what is the necessary adjustment to handle it as appropriately as possible for our football team as it relates to my job?
Sean, with the Tutu Atwell, the last couple of weeks, what has he shown you so far?
The ability to be able to make plays, the ability to be able to move around the formation. And, I thought for him the other day, I thought it was a great job on the fourth down by Bryce to be able to avoid the free hitter. He ends up hitting Tutu on the shallow on the fourth down, ends up hitting him on a crossing route. And so want to just continue to see him grow. And you've seen, steps in that maturation process. Early in the game. I mean, it was at some point in the first quarter, and that's what makes Aaron. He's unbelievable. I mean, to be able to play through that, the toughness, everything that he embodies is what you love about Aaron Donald. That's good. I'm okay. Thanks, guys.
Hello.
So, any thoughts or feelings as you get ready to play against the Seahawks on Sunday?
It's just another game. It's just a game coming up. Played in our stadium against a team that's pretty good.
Is it easy to say that it's just another game after playing for that organization for 10 seasons?
It's pretty easy because, like, being in part of that organization, that's kind of the method. You never really make a game too big or too little. Never focus on, you never make like a Monday night game or Tuesday night game bigger or the opponent bigger, because then it makes you inconsistent, because you'll get up for one game, but then you won't get up for the next game. So I personally just treating this game like it's a normal game.
Bobby, with the way that it played out in Seattle, they didn't talk to you about letting you go. There's still some hard feelings there with that team.
I am a mature man, and that happened a long time ago. So I am focused on performing at my best ability against the team that I'm playing this week.
Will you take some time before the game or after the game to talk to some former teammates?
I'm sure they'll come up. I'm sure they'll come up. I'm sure I'll say something afterwards. At the end of the day, we're still competing. So whatever happens, happens. There's not really a set plan on saying what's up. I'm just going to go about my routine. Obviously, I'm a kind person. I'm not going to stiff arm anybody per se.
Bobby, for a long time, you prided yourself on being able to adapt and adjust to kind of whatever the game was throwing at you. When you made the transition back home to Los Angeles, what were some things you did have to adapt and adjust to, maybe on a professional level or a personal level, that you're proud and happy that you did now?
Honestly, the only thing is traffic, to be honest. Like, traffic's out here, I forgot how bad it was. But other than that, it's just, it was like a new look, I came in here with an open mind, came in here with, obviously I was there for 10 years. And so I wanted to kind of have a fresh start, restart, not kind of take anything that I had there, leave what I did there. And, start learning my teammates again, start learning the people around the building again, start learning you guys again, and getting to know everybody, as well as looking at ways I can improve my game.
Is staying present like that, do you think that's helpful right now? I mean, this type of season, I don't think anyone, yourself included, was expecting all of this. Has that helped, that mindset sort of helped you handle all of this?
For sure, because, at the end of the day, we have a lot of games left. And, it will show what type of person you are, how you handle those games, your reputation, your resume, how you prepare when you're faced with some adversity. It only going to make you stronger if you treat it the right way.
Are you a little surprised how quickly you built that roster and be in contention for the playoffs?
I did not pay any attention to them, to be honest. I was focused on the Rams because that's where my shirt says. Not this moment, but.
How about facing Walker, the rookie running back? How's that going for you?
He's a rookie. I'm looking forward to tackling him, I guess.
Bobby, you've been a leader in really both locker rooms, from Seattle to here. When you're going through a season like this, where you, as you mentioned, you're facing some adversity, outside of just one phase of the game or one position group, do you see that there's a need for a different type of leadership from you in the locker room?
I think the biggest thing for me is sharing your scars. I've been on teams where we've lost like 2-3 games. I've been on teams where we lost a lot of games. And at the end of the day, like, this, you can build something good or you can build something bad. Like, you can continue to get better. You can continue to grow as a person, as a leader, or you can get worse. Like, it's a choice. It's a choice to come out here and perform and play well and study and work out and do the things that you need to do to be great. And the great ones do it, and the people who don't last in this league that long don't. And so you choose which one you want to be. Do you want to be a person that lasts in the league for a long time, or will you just be like something that came and went? So I never wanted to be a person that came and went in this league. I wanted to cement my name in this league, and that's kind of what I share,
Does that revolve on your teammates?
I believe so. I mean, if you look the way we played, a really good team down there, especially in the red zone. They could have easily scored every time they were in the red zone, but we didn't. So I think some of it's rubbing off, but I think guys have a lot of pride in what they do.
What is the mood of the locker room when you're having to handle each and every week more players just getting depleted with all these injuries? How are you able to, uphold the leadership that you have, especially when a guy like Aaron's not able to go on Sunday?
A lot of things, to be honest, like emotions. The worst thing you could do with emotions is keep it in. So I think part of it is expressing it. So expressing the frustration, expressing those things that you have, and then understanding at some point you have to reset and focus. And that there's, regardless of how you feel, Monday through Saturday, there will be a game played on Sunday. There will be a game played on Thursday. And how you are mentally prepared for that game is on you. And so regardless of your feelings, your emotions, your frustrations that happen through the course of a week, this is a business, and the business does not stop for anyone. So, as a professional, it's on you to make sure you are ready for that game on Sunday. And so that's the thing, is making sure that people are ready to play regardless of who's able to suit up and who's not able to suit up. Because at the end of the day, when you're out there, it's your resume, and, people watch that. And, I know family and friends and people watch, and you want to put something out there that you yourself and people are proud of.
Have guys been able to express kind of their frustrations lately? Have you seen it differ throughout the season a little bit? Or?
I think people always, this is a place that allows you to express yourself. So I definitely feel like everybody's has the ability to express whatever they want.
Jefferson mentioned this last week that you had said something encouraging, maybe in the heat of the game, to the offense, keep going, stuff like that. It seemed to really mean a lot to him that a defensive captain came sort of across the line of scrimmage and did that. Is that something you've been doing? You're captain of the defense, but making sure you're checking on the other side too.
I mean, I say a lot of things during the game. But, yeah, you want to check in because, I think, you battle against one another through practice and things of that nature. But ultimately on that Sunday, we're a team, and we're, playing for one another. And we understand what they're going through on their end with injuries and things of that nature. And I think it's important to remind them and make sure they know the defense believes in them and that we got their back. Same thing with special teams. Like, we're all in this together. They're not doing it by themselves. And so it's important that you make sure that they know that from a defensive perspective. Good. Appreciate it.